Hey, what's up YouTubers, and welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts collection overview video. And today, by request from a fellow YouTuber, they said they wanted to see my Friday the 13th collection after I just recently, a couple days ago, did my Texas Chainsaw Massacre collection. And you never have to twist my arm to show off my Friday the 13th stuff, so of course I'll do a video. I'm going to show everything that I have, from videotapes to albums to figures. I got some t-shirts and posters. I'll show you guys everything that I have in this video. So it may be pretty long, so you might want to pause it here. Go get yourself a drink and some snacks, kick back, relax, and let's get into it here with the VHS tapes. This is the Friday the 13th VHS tape from Paramount. And this one was released in 2001. Has a different, unique cover to the others, but I really like the way that looks, so I picked it up. It's kind of an alternate cover to the original here, which I have in cellophane. This one's still sealed. This is the line that Paramount put out in 1994. They released all of these Gateway. They released the whole line in 1994, and that's the line that I have. I got these in a trade from a fellow YouTuber, Derek from Mrs. B and Me, and these are one of my favorites in my collection now. I really like these. He took really good care of them. They're in mint condition. So, and that's the original poster art from part 1 there. Really like the way that looks. Here's part 2. Kind of a generic style cover, but that's the way they went with the poster art for part 2. Still like the way that looks. And I'm not going to take them all out, but just so you can kind of see what they look like on the tape. I know many of you remember these, but some younger viewers probably don't even know what a VHS tape is. Part 3, 3D. I like that cover. I'm going to try to move pretty quick through these because I do have a lot of stuff to show, and I'm going to try to keep it under an hour. I know you guys don't have that much time dedicated to watch videos, but I figured, I would record my collection. I'm kind of bored, and maybe this will help you guys cure some of your boredom if you're locked in your house. Here's part 4. I haven't done a ranking of the franchise ever on my channel, but I think I'll do that at some point here in the near future. I'll go through and I'll rank all of the 12 Friday the 13th movies that have been released so far. It's part 5. This was the red herring Jason with the blue chevrons on his mask. That's Roy Burns, the paramedic. It's part 6. Jason Lives. It's part 7. The New Blood. Pretty cool cover. Kind of a psychic theme in this movie. Jason Takes Manhattan. It's part 8. Really nice cover. The movie is not so good, but the cover's cool. You guys will have to tune in and see where I put that on my list. And then Jason Goes to Hell. This one was released in 1993 by, let's see who put this one out. Turner Home Entertainment. So that was the VHS. I'm going to pause it here and we'll get into the next section. Before we get into the next section, I just wanted to show you guys an overview and how I keep these protected. I have these heavy duty kind of a squeeze and shake box. It has a little latch at the bottom and you can just slide the tape in there. It's a heavy duty plastic and it just keeps them from getting dusty and nicked up. It protects them pretty good and keeps them in good shape. So there's the overview. So next I think we'll get into the DVDs. Jumping right into the DVDs here, the first one I have is a box set called the Ultimate Edition DVD Collection from Crystal Lake to Manhattan. And this box set has seen a lot of wear and tear over the years. I bought this new when it first came out. This was released in 2004. And again, the packaging doesn't seem to hold up very well, but the set came with a bunch of slim cases inside. And you got a disc of extras. And you have part 7 and 8. These are flipper discs, if I remember. No, they cram each edition onto a DVD. So that's 7 and 8. This one is 5 and 6. Part 3 and 4. And the first one and second one. And then the box, it's kind of your run-of-the-mill, a little kind of cheap. As you can see, it's kind of pulling away. But again, this one has been used quite a bit. This was the copy that I viewed the most. So put that off to the side. Then they came out with a smaller box set with the remaining 3 films. Not counting the most recent remake that they did in 2009. This one has Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and Freddy vs. Jason. Again, they come in 3 slim packs. They each have their own disc. There's only 3 of them. And I have the documentary. This is the 2-disc splatter edition called His Name Was Jason, 30 Years of Friday the 13th. Really, really good documentary. And if you do decide to pick this up, I'm sure most of you have it already, but if you haven't picked it up, get the 2-disc edition because you get so much more. There was a single disc edition that first came out. This was put out by Anchor Bay. Definitely worth a watch. Here is part 1. This is a DVD edition from the UK. I don't have as many different editions of Friday the 13th as I do Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but this is the only foreign release I have other than the German stuff that I'll show you guys in a little bit. Here is an Ultimate Edition of part 1. Has a lenticular cover. I really love the way that looks. Jason's mask and then the original poster art there for the first film. And then the deluxe editions with the lenticular slipcovers. This is part 1, the uncut. These are harder to come by now. Part 2. The lenticular cover doesn't really do anything. It doesn't change the image in the background. It just kind of shows the depth. I don't know if you guys can really see that on the camera there. It's part 3, 3D. Part 4, final chapter. Part 5, A New Beginning. It's a pretty cool cover. You can see, maybe you can't on camera, but the house looks like it's so much closer to the foreground, and Jason's mask is kind of looming over the house in the background. I don't know if you can tell. It looks pretty cool. Here again is Jason in the foreground, and the mask is kind of fading away in the background. Part 7, The New Blood. And Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Really cool cover. And then I have Jason X. New Line took over. Freddy vs. Jason. Two-disc set. And it does have the chapter stops, the insert card. It's like a little 2-page insert there. And a few years ago I got this on a secondary market. It's a fan-made movie, Jason versus Leatherface, and it was terrible. It was just really, really bad. And he threw in, I think there was a bonus soundtrack CD, and then these are all burned, and there's like a sticker. This disc art is like a sticker that they put on somehow. Rolled the dice. I didn't pay very much for it. I thought I'd give it a shot, but it was pretty bad. And then for some reason I have a duplicate of Part 1 and 2 for the slim pack. I don't know how I came up with this one, but that's part of the original first box that I showed you guys. So I'm going to put these on the bed and show you a recap, and we'll move on. Before we get into the recap, I forgot one box set on DVD. This is a box set that Paramount put out in 2011. It was limited to 50,000, which is not very limited. So I'm sure pretty much everybody has this. I have number 5,125. Comes with the little replica mask for Jason. Has all 8 deluxe edition DVDs, plus a replica of Jason's hockey mask. And it comes with 3D glasses for Part 3. And you can see everything that comes inside there. Comes with an 8-page booklet, 2 pairs of glasses. So, didn't want to forget that. So in recap, I have the 2 DVD box sets. That's the UK edition, fan-made movie, excellent documentary, extra disc for the box set, and then the deluxe editions. Here's Part 1 and Part 1, and the rest of them. The only standalone DVD I don't have is Jason Goes to Hell, which would be Part 9, and then it's Part 10, Jason X, and Part 11, Freddy vs. Jason, and Part 12 is the remake. So I'm going to put this stuff away and we'll continue on. Getting into the Blu-ray editions that I have in my collection. This one is kind of a comic book style cover that came out. This is a US release from about 2 years ago, I think, 2018. And it just has the basic Blu-ray, the uncut Blu-ray underneath, but I thought the slipcover was pretty cool. So I grabbed that before it went out of print. I'm not sure if it is now or not. I didn't want to risk it. And then I got a edition here from the UK. Pretty cool slipcover. And it has the UK Blu-ray. Glad to have those both in the collection. Then I got a Blu-ray that's signed up by a couple people. Right there at the bottom is Ari Lehman, who played the boy Jason, Jason 1, and he also wrote at the top, Jason Never Dies. I also have special effects guy, Tom Savini, special effects god, I should say. He's not a guy, he's a god. And in the gold Sharpie is writer Vic Miller, and also Irwin Keyes, who has passed away now. He played a busboy. A very young Irwin Keyes was in this movie. I don't even think he was credited in the movie, but you can definitely tell it's him. So glad to have that in the collection. And then I was picking up some of these twin packs when I saw them at FYE, because I know some of these were going out of print and going for big bucks. So I grabbed a couple when I saw them, and I got the Freddy versus Jason and Friday the 13th, the remake from 2009 twin pack here. And I got part 7 and part 8. Got part 5 and part 6. Here's the standalone edition of part 9, the killer cut. I think this is a 2-disc as well. This is the Blu-ray, and then it comes with the digital copy on a disc. And this is another beauty of a documentary. This is called Crystal Lake Memories, the complete history of Friday the 13th. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo, and it's the definitive documentary. It's definitely worth a watch. There's hours of entertainment on here. There's a bonus disc on DVD, and then you get 2 Blu-rays and 2 DVDs. And I strongly recommend you pick this up. Even if you're a casual Friday the 13th fan, I think you'll find a lot of entertainment watching that. I got a German steelbook with a lenticular plate. And see if I can get that to kind of show without the glare. There's the German title. Pretty cool steelbook. There's going to be a new steelbook coming out in the US, I think in May next month, and it's going to be a Best Buy exclusive, and I think you can pre-order it now, and it's only like $10, so I recommend picking that up. So I'll do a quick recap of the Blu-rays. Actually, no, before I get into that, I gotta show this. I was going to show this separately, but I'm just going to lump this in with the Blu-rays because there's been many unboxings of this on YouTube, and I'm not going to even really go into it. But this is the kind of like the crown jewel of collectibles for Blu-rays for the franchise. It has all 12 films in this box set. This has been long sold out. It's going for ridiculous money on secondary markets. And a lot of these didn't survive. A lot of these got beat up and dinged up pretty good. And the ones that did survive, people are, they hoarded them up really quick, and you'll be lucky to get one now for a fair price. But it has a couple pairs of 3D glasses, has a Camp Crystal Lake patch, has a mini edition of the Crystal Lake Memories, kind of a Cliff Notes version of the big Crystal Lake Memories. It's kind of like an armband or something. I never really figured out what that was, but it's Crazy Ralph. I told the others. They wouldn't listen. They wouldn't believe me. You're all doomed. And then it comes in this nice little kind of a digibook style. Has all the movies in there. Really, really nice set. There's supposed to be another box set coming out in the US, but there hasn't really been a definite answer on it. They've been talking about this for a while. So we'll see. Fingers crossed that we'll get a box set here in 2020. Maybe by June or July, we'll see. A couple more things I guess I can show before I get into my German media books. I have the Friday the 13th Nintendo game. This is the clamshell of the old Nintendo game. And there's the cartridge, and I bought the manual, so it's complete. Nice little set to have. And I have the PS4 game, which I dabbled in this a little bit. My son played it. My son was actually pretty good at this, and it was fun watching him. You can be Jason and go around chasing the counselors, or you can be the counselors and be chased by Jason. It's fun either way. It's pretty intense because the music and the background noise, and you can hear Jason coming, and it has the sound effects, and it's pretty freaky. You can find places to hide, or you can run, but you can never really outrun Jason. So I'm gonna pause it again, and we'll get into the German editions, the media books. If you want a chance to win a copy of Friday the 13th Uncut on Blu-ray, Stick around to the end, and I'm going to give this away. There's a way that you can win this, so stay tuned for that. Stick around till the end. So the next box set I'm going to show you guys is from Germany. I showed this before in a video, but I'm trying to get everything Friday the 13th in one video to make it a definitive collection video. This is the big German box set that was limited to 1,500 pieces. This is the box. This is where all the media books sit. I got them pulled out over there, and I'm going to go through those one by one. There was a little, I guess it's kind of like plywood this is made out of, and this little top just kind of slides across, and it makes this nice little container to house your Blu-ray media books. So I'm going to pull this off to the side, and we will get into the media books here. Just going to kind of go through these quickly. This one's part one. Oh, this is the remake, or yeah, this is part one, the original from 1980. Thought I had them out of order, but here's part two. These are really nice padded books. They each have 2 discs, and they have a lot of nice glossy photos and stuff on the inside. Really nice sets. I was really glad to pick this up, and it's almost impossible to find now. It's part 3. Nice digibook. Digibook, media book. It's part 4. He's got the axe wound. Part 5. The Roy Burns mask. Part 6, Jason Lives. Part 7. This one's 3 discs. Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Here's part 9, Jason Goes to Hell. Love that cover. Movie, not so much. The cover is awesome. There's 10, Jason X. 11, Freddy vs. Jason. Another movie that wasn't the greatest, but it was still enjoyable. It was a fun popcorn movie. Here's the remake from 2009, the Killer Cut. Here is Crystal Lake Memories, the documentary that I showed you guys earlier. This is the German edition of it. That cover's beautiful. Love it. And then here is the other documentary, Jason Lives, from 84 Entertainment. Both of those documentaries are excellent. And I forgot to show this little lunch pail. This was a gift from a fellow YouTuber, Darren Crowder, my brother Darren. Thanks again, buddy, for this. This is the FYE exclusive lunch pail. And on the inside it comes with the 8 movie collection in this fat pack. It's really nice. Has all the movies in here. Opens up on the swing tray. It's a beautiful edition. Really nice. Glad to have that in the collection. So I'm going to pause it here. I'm going to show you guys a signed mask that I have, and then I'll get into some figures, and I'll get into some vinyl, and we'll keep rolling. The next piece I have here is a Jason mask that was signed by 6 of the Jasons in the series, and I picked this up a couple years ago at a place called horrorautographs.com. You guys may be interested in some of the stuff they have over there. They have just about every horror icon you can think of. Many different people in the industry have signed items over there. They got all kinds of stuff. So go check them out at horrorautographs.com. But they sent me the mask, and they also sent me pictures of the guy signing the mask, so I'll share that with you. The first guy is Ari Lehman. He played the first Jason, the boy Jason in the lake, the one that was all deformed. and he signed it. He signed it right there. Ari Lehman, Jason 1. Second one is Steve Dash, who passed away last year or so. I think it was about a year ago, or maybe longer now. He signed it. He played Jason 2, and he signed it right here. Steve Dash, the real Jason 2. And the third one is Ted White. He played Jason in Part 4. I don't have Jason Part 3, who was Richard Brooker. He passed away. I never got a chance to get his autograph, but Ted White signed it right here. Ted White, or Jason 4. C.J. Graham played Jason in Part 6. Jason Lives. And he signed it right there. C.J. Graham, Jason 6. Then I got Kane Hodder, who played Jason in 7, 8, 9, and 10. He's the best Jason. And he signed it right here. Kane Hodder, Jason 7, 8, 9, and Jason X. And then Derek Mears, who played Jason in the remake of 2009. He signed it. Derek Mears, Jason, Friday the 13th, 09. So that's that. Okay, so getting into the figures here, I do have a vinyl pop, Funko vinyl pop. I don't have very many of these, but I do have, like I mentioned in the Texas Chainsaw video, I think I have like 5 of these total. Had to get the Jason one. It's pretty cool. It's got a little bloody blade. And getting into the NECA figures, these are the deluxe edition figures with the premium boxes. They're already displayed. Take a look at the beautiful image on the front. It's a really, really good cover. By far, in my opinion, the best cover of the group. You open it up and it has Sackhead Jason. That's what it looks like when it's fully posed. Comes with a couple of different head sculpts. And then you have Pam's head in the corner there. I'm trying to show that without getting too much of a reflection from the flash. You have a little fire pit with a flame, some accessories like a knife, machete, and a pitchfork and a pickaxe. It's a really nice little addition. That's what it looks like in different poses. This is NECA Real Toys. The sculpt was done by Kyle Windricks. Packaging was done by Chris Ramo. So that's part 2. Part 3 in 3D has a lenticular cover on the front. Here's what he looks like. And then he has a pipe wrench, bloody knife, another pitchfork, fire iron, machete, axe, and he's got his bloody clothes and a different head with the axe wound in it. Really nice addition. Here's part 4, the final chapter. This one comes with some pretty cool stuff. It has Pam Voorhees' headstone. It has some interchangeable hands, so you can hold different weapons. There's a corkscrew, a meat cleaver, butcher knife, bloody saw, two-headed axe, and a machete soaked in blood. There's another head that you can switch out. And of course, as always, he's got blood all over him. I got 2 different part 5s. It's got like a ice pick or something. It's got a big machete. Wounded hand you can switch out. Two-headed axe full of blood. And I love this here. They have 4 different heads you can use. The one that's on them already, and then there's 3 extras you can pop on. There's the dream sequence right there at the top. And the other part 5, and then I'll show them side by side. This is when it reveals that it's Roy Burns on the inside. This is what it looks like when he's posing. These are all the accessories. Another hand, extra weapons, bloody weapons, and all kinds of stuff. And then on the back, when you take his mask off, it reveals that it was Roy Burns. So this is what they look like side by side. So they're both worthy of a buy, in my opinion. Here's part 6. This is when he's more and more decayed. You can see that his flesh is rotting. You can see part of his skull. He's got a mask you can change out. He's got all kinds of weapons. There's his mom's tombstone again. Part of the fence post. That iron wrought fence from the beginning when he gets re-energized by the lightning. So after 6, they still have yet to release 7, 8, or 9. So hopefully at some point they will do that. And they haven't released a 10 from NECA, but I know McFarlane Toys several years back released a 10. I think that's going for ridiculous money now, but I would love to see NECA put out a 7, 8, 9, and 10 in a box like this just to kind of complete the series. So then we're jumping into part 11, which is Freddy versus Jason. It's got this is really cool. It's got the flame that you can put on the machete. Then he's got a bloody machete. He's got the little teddy bear. You can see him holding it there with his bloody machete. And he's got 3 different head sculpts you can put on. Or actually, I think it's just masks here. Yeah, it's just a mask. You can switch out the different masks. There's a real bloody one. And there's the Freddy with the claws across that mask. It's a beautiful addition. Really love this. Here's what he looks like without any of the masks on. And I have 2 more boxed figures from NECA. This is the 09 remake. You can see he's got stringy long hair in the back in this one. This one comes with some accessories here. A lot of little stuff, like a little screwdriver, a little hammer, a little axe. To get a better look here at Derek Mears, who played Jason. He's got the mask where you can put on the sack head too. And that's what he looks like in different poses. And then I have the Friday the 13th, the game. This is the Nintendo game that I showed you guys earlier. This is what he looked like in the purple and blue. And this used to play music when you opened it up. It played the little theme from the game, but the battery died. But you got some pretty generic weapons, because in the game he looked pretty generic. There's his mom's head. But it's still a little cool, nice little collectible. I'm glad to have this in the collection. I think this one's a little bit harder to find now, so I'll do a quick recap and we'll move on. So here's the recap. We have part 2, 3, 4, 2 different part 5s. We have a 6, and then we're missing 7, 8, 9, and 10. They haven't put those out yet. And jumping into 11 and 12. And there is the game figure. And here's the Funko Pop. So I'm going to go put these away and we will continue. And the next figure here is a blister pack from part 3. This is Pamela Voorhees when she comes in kind of that dream sequence. She comes out of the water on the canoe and she's all deformed and decayed. This is a beautiful piece. This was, I think this was one of the newer releases from NECA in this franchise. And the art was done by Jason Edmiston again. He did a lot of the stuff that we showed earlier for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre stuff. But look at that art. That is beautiful. That's really, really nice. Continues on into the back of the figure. Let's see if we can get a better look at her face. They put little strands of hair on her. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actual hair that they put on there. It's really creepy. It's pretty dusty on the top of there. And the next one is from Sideshow Collectibles. These are really pricey. I got this for a good price, but I wanted to collect the whole line, but they're way too expensive. I have other things to buy, but I mean, these are beautiful. These are the 12-inch figures, and this is Sackhead Jason from part 2. And stand up and see if I can get you guys a better view here. They have cloth clothing. You can see the eye coming through the sack. It's got a couple of weapons. A little stand you can put them on. I mean, these are really beautiful. But these will put you back easy $200-300 or more. That's what he looks like without the sack. That's what he looks like with the sack. And the next one is from Mezco, and this is Friday the 13th part 3. Comes with this little slip cover. Pulled it off already, and the figure comes boxed already displayed. Love it. See, it has different hand poses. Bloody head where he was hit with the axe. Another mask you can change out. Some bloody weapons. Another stand on the bottom you can put them on. It's a really beautiful piece. And about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago or so, I picked up this little guy at Walgreens. It's a little Jason figure. It's got his little clothes on. There's a little button on his foot, and when you push it, the batteries are pretty low. It's not going to really sound that good now.
Jason, Mother is talking to you.
You can tell that the batteries are going in that. I haven't changed them since I bought it, and I had that like 6 or 7 years. I think I'll pick you guys up, take you over here a little bit, and show you some other blister packs that I have. Instead of taking these out and put them down on the bed, I have the San Diego Comic-Con Pam Voorhees and Little Jason right there on the left. That one's pretty hard to find now. That was from 2015. I have the Sackhead Jason blister pack. These all have actual clothing. There's some beautiful artwork in the back and has some accessories. Here's part 5, another Roy Burns. I prefer the figures with the clothing. I think they look a lot better, in my opinion, but you can see there on his overalls, they look dirty, like he's been through hell and back. It's got some hands you can change out. Here's another video game edition in clothes. It's pretty hard to find now. And then I have some masks up here. These are also from NECA. It's part 3 on the left. It's part 4 with the axe wound. There's part 5, the Roy Burns mask. And there's the remake from 2009, part 12. Here's the video game. And then I purchased a lot of these from my buddy Rick over at 13X Studios. I got some of these editions here. There's part. It's Jason Takes Manhattan. He did the cover on the face. I thought that was really cool. Here's a Roy Burns. Here's a Tom Savini inspired mask. That's from the video game. Some more here. There's a Freddy versus Jason. Kind of a different take on it. He's got the Freddy color on the sweater, or the Freddy sweater color on the mask, and then he's got the nail marks on the mask. And then this was kind of in dedication to Steve Dash, who played Jason in part 2. I think that looks beautiful. It's supposed to be Sackhead Jason on a mask, and I think it looks great. And then I have a original poster. This is it's not an original poster. It's the original poster, but it's a replication of the original. It's not worth anything. I paid a couple bucks for it. And then down here I have one of those little plastic signs, "Welcome to Crystal Lake." I used to have it in my garage, but it's very chintzy, and the wind would blow that and tear it apart, so I just put it in my room. So I'm going to pause it here. We'll pull out some more stuff and look at it. Next up, I'll show you some stuff I have hanging around the house on the walls. And I think I'm going to do the vinyl last, because I did that not too long ago in a video, and you guys might want to pass that up. So I'm going to do all my vinyl last. But this is some of the stuff that I hang on the wall, and this is a plaque that I won in a contest from Andrew's Crypt a couple of years ago. And his wife is an artist, and she's excellent. And this was one of the prizes, and I love it. Look at all the details she put into that, and it's really, really nice. It's got a little hang on the back, hanging on the wall. This was fan made for the movie. A fellow YouTuber named Ryan, who was a Blu-ray Lantern. He made this for me a couple of years ago, and this is beautiful. It's a Freddy Krueger claw holding the Jason mask, and I really love it. He made that in 2016. It's a really nice piece. I hang that on my wall. It's really nice. I'm not sure where I picked this little tin sign. It's just a little thin piece of tin, but it's enjoy your summer evenings at Camp Crystal Lake, established in 1935. I just like the way that the background looks, so I picked it up. Can't remember where I got it. It's probably eBay or something. And this was a gift from a fellow YouTuber who passed away in 2016. Tom Pissinger was a good friend of mine, and he bought this for himself, and he was texting me, showing me pictures of it, and I told him how much I liked it, and he didn't even tell me he was going to send it to me. He just mailed it to me, because he already had my address. We had been sending packages back and forth, and he just hit me with this one day, and I was shocked. And this is a beautiful piece, and I'll always remember him when I look at this. This is a McFarlane 3D poster, they call this. It's about the size of an 8x10 photo, maybe a little bit bigger, and it has like a 3D depth to it, and you can see the original poster image in the background. You can see the counselors and the woods and the cabin and stuff. It's really nice, and then it's signed by Todd McFarlane. And I'm very happy to own this, and it just hangs up on the back there on the wall. And then I have a piece that was purchased from Camp Nobi Bosco, which I'm going to be showing you guys a couple more items here in a minute. Camp Nobi Bosco is the original camp where Friday the 13th Part 1 was filmed. And it's owned by the Boy Scouts of America, I think, and they have counselors and volunteers that go down there, and they take donations to keep this active. And they have tours there once a year. It's hard to get tickets because they only have, I think they do 2 tours now. They used to do one. It would sell out right away, and then they would never offer another one for another year. I think they do 2 now, and they still sell out fast. But this picture here is the actual Crystal Lake. It's an actual photo, And there's different pictures you can pick in this package. And I think it was like, I don't know, I don't want to tell you how much I paid for this, but it was a little bit of money. But it was good knowing that the money goes to a nonprofit organization that keeps this camp going. And there's a canoe on Crystal Lake, and this wood is reclaimed wood that was from one of the cabins on the film set. So this is authentic. It's an authentic photo on authentic wood from Camp Crystal Lake, which is actually Camp Nobi Bosco. If you guys are interested, I'll put a link down below and you can go and buy some stuff from them. I'm going to pause it here. I'm going to show you some other stuff that I got from Camp Nobi Bosco that's authentic memorabilia from the site. Okay, so here are some of the items you can purchase from Camp Nobi Bosco. Camp Nobi Bosco is in New Jersey. I'll link it below. This water is called Angry Mother Bottling Company. 100% Crystal Lake water. They claim that they only bottle the water on Friday the 13th, which is pretty cool. If you buy these in the winter time, they send it to you in a plastic bottle, from what I hear. These are glass. I would rather have glass, I think. So, you know, obviously they can't, in New Jersey, they can't bottle water when it's frozen, but let's see if I can tell you anything more about this. Because I have a little cheat sheet of notes to my left here. I want to make sure I give you guys all the right details. So that's all I really have for that. The next one is a little vial of sand. And it stands 3 inches tall. It's 1 inch wide. It's sand from the beach where Pam Voorhees, played by Betsy Palmer, and Ginny Field, played by Amy Steele, fought. And this is actual sand from that scene where they fought. That's pretty cool. Let's see if I can get a little closer. Collected on Friday the 13th, if you can see that on the bottom. And they also do send certificate of authenticity from Camp Nobi Bosco, so you know that it's not just some dude at his house, you know, putting sand from his kid's sandbox in a vial. I got, let's see, Angry Mother Dock Works. There's wood chips in there. And it stands 3 inches tall. It was from the last remaining swim dock that survived from the original filming, which is now down because they had to replace it, and they ground all the old wood into these vials. And it's yeah, it says it was genuine wood shippings that were captured while cutting the last remaining dock. So that's cool. This was part of film history. And the next one is Angry Mother Sawmill. It's an 8-ounce bottle of chips. It says it's filled with genuine wood shavings cut from logs that were reclaimed from the restoration of the main cabin in the film. So some of the wood was kind of rotten, or maybe just needed to be replaced, and they ground it up and put new wood up to kind of preserve the cabin. So I think that's cool. I have an actual piece of that. And then I have a pair of dice that were used from wood at one of the cabins. And they claim on the website that these aren't really actually like professional dice, so you can't, you know, they're not exactly even and accurate. These are more or less just a kind of a souvenir piece. So don't buy these thinking you're going to be able to use these for gambling or anything. It's just for, you know, just for checking out, just having your collection. So that is the dice, part of the original cabin, part of the last remaining swimming dock, water from Crystal Lake, and sand from the beach where Pam Voorhees and Ginny Field fought. The next items in my collection here are from, I believe it was Valley View Winery in the state of Oregon. And these are signed by Adrienne King, who played Alice in the first 2 movies. And she does, I'm not sure if she's a part owner or if she does collaborations with this winery, but they put out a Crystal Lake wine, and they put them out in like limited batches, limited quantities. And if you order from their website, she'll sign your bottle, and you can have her privately or personally inscribe something that you want, or she'll put something that she wants. You have to let her know. And I chose some of these quotes from the movie. You can see that she signed it Adrienne King, Alice. And these are quotes from the movie that I chose. Stay away from Camp Blood. It's got a death curse, and she wrote that on there. And you can see she put a little bit of blood on the O's there. It's pretty cool. I'm not a drinker at all. I don't drink any kind of liquor anymore. I used to, but I got away from it. And so these are going to stay full. The next one is called, well, actually, I should have told you, this is their Crystal Lake Moonlight Chardonnay from 2014. I'm not a wino or a wine guy, so I don't know if these are rare or, I don't know if they taste good. But this one is called Crystal Lake Chiller White. And she put the date 10/13, which was a Friday the 13th of 2017. She signed it there again. And then it says Happy Friday the 13th. Next one is called Crystal Lake Survivors Syra from 2012. She signed it. And I put You're Doomed. You're all doomed. Or I asked her to put that on there. And the last one is called Crystal Lake Midnight Merlot from 2012. She signed it. Jason Voorhees Never Dies. Now I'll show you guys the t-shirts that I have. And if you guys stayed this long through the video, I just want to thank you. I know this is a long one. I really do appreciate your views and your time. So this is a kind of the big four again. You have Freddy, Jason, Mike, and Leatherface. Wanted to show you guys that one. This one I got from fellow YouTuber Carlos, Eastwood for Life fan. It's Friday the 12th. We were so close. Jason's a little bit sad. You can see some of the dust flying around. Those are not orbs. I bet you guys didn't know Jason was a Packer fan, but there's the proof. He's wearing a Packers shirt. Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake, and he's clutching a victim. Blood-soaked machete. This was from an artist named Don England. Sorry about that. And this was his design. I purchased this from him directly. There's the original. I think Eastwood for Life fan gave me this one too. It's the original image from the poster art of part 1. Another image of Jason behind the Camp Crystal Lake sign. Kind of a collage of all the different Jasons throughout the franchise. Here's a Camp Crystal Lake counselor t-shirt. And here's a little collage of the four again. You got Jason upper left, and you got Freddy upper right, Leatherface bottom left, and Michael Myers bottom right. Those are all the shirts I have. So we're going to keep moving on. The next piece here is a bust of Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th Part 6, The New Blood. And I added the mask, which was also a purchase from 13X Studios. So these are two separate pieces I put together to make this item, and it works out perfect because the artist who made this bust made the wound on the side of the face, and the mask that Rick made lines up perfectly. So that was a win-win for me. And I'll take the mask off and show you guys what the head looks like, if I can do this with one hand. So it does have a glass eye in his left eye. You can see that his nose and his mouth, everything's kind of rotting away. His left eye is closed. This is his right eye. And it's a really beautiful piece. The artist filled it with epoxy or resin or whatever that is, so you can't wear it as a mask. It's more or less just a bust. That's all I really wanted anyway. So, and that mask fits on there perfectly. So I have one more mask to show you guys, and then I'll get into my vinyl. And the second mask I'm going to have to step up here. Hopefully I don't break my neck on camera. This is a bust of Jason from part 4. I thought this was pretty cool that they actually added like a piece of his kind of like army shirt. It's made from a really hard plastic. Comes with a full face mask, hockey mask. Comes with glass eyes. And it's got this jacked up teeth that he has in that movie. That's pretty good detail right there. And as long as I'm up here, I think I forgot to show you guys this Savage World from Funko Jason. So I'll go through my vinyl and we'll call this a very long video. I'm just going to go through very quickly here and show you the different albums that I have. If you want more in-depth on this, you can search one of my backlogged videos. I did an overview video of all the different colors of vinyl, all the gatefolds that opened up. You could check all that stuff out. I'm just going to show you guys what I have now. This is the soundtrack from the Friday the 13th TV show from the 80s. This is the soundtrack from part 1. This is the original pressing. It went out of print and it was very expensive, and then they repressed it and then it went out of print, sold out. This is part 2. Here's part 2 3D. This is the regular cover. And then there was a part 3 that had a lenticular cover, and I got this one signed by Harry Manfredini, who was the composer there at the bottom. And he put a little music bar in gold Sharpie, or silver Sharpie. I thought that was pretty cool. Love that edition. Here's part 4, the final chapter. Here's part 5, the FYE exclusive. It was limited to 750. And then here's part 5 from Waxwork Records. And here's the last one for now. This is part 6, Jason Lives. And they have part 7 at Waxwork on pre-order right now. It comes out, I think, the end of this month, which is April as I'm recording this, or it might be May, April or May, I can't remember, but it's coming out very soon. So if you want part 7, go over to Waxwork now, check that out. If you are interested in winning a free copy of Friday the 13th Uncut Blu-ray, leave a comment below. Tell me your order of the Friday the 13th franchise from worst to best, so you go from 12 to 1. I will have my daughter randomly pick a comment, so you guys don't think I'm playing favorites. She doesn't know any of you guys, so she's just going to pick one, and that's what I'll send it to, and it's open to the worldwide. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you guys are all healthy and safe where you're at. Hang tight, this will be over soon. And if you guys ever feel like you're ugly and lonely and you want to come and hang out with old Toddy Walnuts, feel free to stop over. You'll still be ugly, but you won't be lonely anymore. So thank you guys for watching. Take care and see you next time.